Hello everyone. In this section, we'll be focusing on circular convolution. So, as discussed in the previous section, we had focused on arriving and analyzing what is called as linear convolution. Here, we'll be focusing on circular convolution. So, let us look into in depth of what is meant by circular convolution. So, circular convolution is also known as cyclic convolution of two aperiodic functions occurs when one of them is convolute or in the normal way with periodic summation of other functions. The situation arises basically when you have the circular convolution theorem. So in this section we'll be writing a MATLAB code to perform circular convolution of two given discrete time signal. The circular convolution, as I was mentioning, is also known as cyclic convolution of two periodic signal occurs when one of them is convoluted in the normal way with a periodic summation of other function. Circular convolution is only defined for finite length of functions, usually equal in length, continuous or discrete in time. In circular convolution, as it is of finite length functions repeat in time periodically, because of the input functions now periodic and convoluted output is also periodic. So how does this look in? We'll just check when we are going into the programming aspect of it. So let us look into the mathematical formula of the circular convolution. So I can say y of n is equal to x1 of n and star x2 of n, where again I can rewrite the equation as summation of x1 of n, x2 of n, where n varies from 0 to capital N minus 1, and I can say m is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and going up to n minus 1. So this is a representation where we have the arbitrary periodic summation of the corresponding signal. So when you look into the circular convolution can perform in different ways, like the expression of a linear sum assuming the signal repeats periodically. This can be done by making changes in the negative indices of n minus k or to repetition of later portion of the original periodic signal. So it depends upon what kind of sequence you are considering in for the circular convolution. So that's one of the desired thing which you have to look into it. Now circular convolution, if I say I have say sequences where I'll be performing the finite impulse response of it. So this is where your fast Fourier transform algorithm and circular convolution can be used together to perform different operations which we will be using it. So when you look into the convolution in time domain, it corresponds to the multiplication in frequency domain. To make use of this property, we calculate the DTFT, discrete time Fourier transform of each aperiodic signal, multiply this in frequency domain and find out the IDFT, inverse discrete Fourier transform of the product to a periodic convoluted signal in time domain. So circular convolution of two given sequences is given by x1 of n is equal to 2, 1, 2, 1 and x2 of n is given by 1, 2, 3, 4 using the formula where n is equal to 4. Now when I substitute the values in my equation, where I'll assume that for m is equal to 0, I'll get y0 is equal to 14, and when I substitute y m is equal to 1, so I'll be getting the corresponding value as 16, and when I go for m is equal to 2, 14, y is equal to 3, again 16. So we get a circular convolution sum as 14, 16, 14, 16. So the same parameters of the input sequence which you have assumed in case of x1 and x2 is fed as input of two signals x1 and x2 in your program, and we can see that the results obtained would be as follows. Okay, so that's it from my side. For your any feedback or clarifications, you can reach back to us in the mail ID mentioned here.